Unless you live under a rock, you probably know how close Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall have always been. These two comedians set the standards for bromance chemistry in the show business. And naturally, there was a talk among people that there's more to this story than a strong and lasting friendship. Rumors about the nature of their union have been going on for years, and in today's video, we will finally get the answers whether their relationship had a romantic vibe as well. So buckle up, as I'm jumping straight into details. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Live channel. Hollywood is not only a place for endless dramas and mess, and it gave us several strong bonds, and the friendship of Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall is one of such wonderful things. The two comedians connected during the early days of their careers when they were making names for themselves as stand-up comedians. They had a mutual friend, Keenan Wayans, who initially introduced them, and the rest is history. With Eddie Murphy being in the spotlight for decades with some very entertaining and memorable roles, like Coming to America, The Nutty Professor, and Beverly Hills Cop, the actor became one of the most respected celebrities in Hollywood. And even despite the criticism he faced for some of his statements as a stand-up comedian, which some fans believe were quite homophobic, there has been recently a talk about him being closeted for some time, and people began to wonder if Eddie's close relationship with Arsenio Hall had a romantic side. Well, the chemistry between these is undeniable, and since their first meeting, it seemed like these two men have been inseparable. As Hall recalls, their meeting was nothing more than a chance because they were introduced to each other by their mutual friend Keenan Ivory Wayans in Los Angeles. We're standing in front of the Improv. Keenan introduces me. I shake Eddie's hand and we talk for a while, and then coming down the street is Damon Wayans. According to Hall, the spark between him and Eddie was instant, and they couldn't stop talking to each other, and it felt like they have been known each other for ages already. Hall even mentioned that talking to Eddie Murphy felt like connection to a brother, and there was nothing they couldn't discuss. Well, they quickly passed the phrase of acquaintances and became bros for life. And as Arsenio mentioned, it didn't take them long to start sharing secrets and other personal details of their lives with each other. Eventually, their friendship turned into collaboration, and these two felt and looked so natural both on and off the screen that rumors about them being more than friends started to appear. In 1989, when Murphy appeared on the Arsenio Hall show, which was aired since 1989 until 2014, the two comedians couldn't even stop goofing around. They couldn't even have a proper interview because they kept laughing about the fact that they needed to be more professional than they normally are off camera. From hip-hop artists to sports stars to Hollywood celebs, it seemed like everyone was stopping by to chat with Arsenio Hall, but when it came to hosting Eddie Murphy, everything was electrified with the chemistry of these two. Many fans noticed how comfortable and relaxed they felt and behaved around each other. Unlike many other men, they didn't seem to hide how deeply they loved and respected each other, with Hall saying things like, "We came up at a time where we learned this whole thing together. We went through all of this together." The show was one of the few places where these could be seen by the public, and boy, the vibe between two of them was way beyond any bromance. Unfortunately, Arsenio Hall's show got canceled. It seemed out of the blue, but as many people speculate until today, the show cancellation came suspiciously soon after the host invited Nation of Islam leader Minister Luis Farrakhan as a guest. The interview was quite controversial, with Arsenio asking inappropriate questions, and multiple critics later attacked Hall, claiming he fawned over his guest and that he had no real interview skills. And although Arsenio denied all rumors and mentioned that he had signed the resignation papers way before that episode, the Islam leader, it was a huge blow for the entire Black community to have the show canceled. With the help of his friend Eddie, Arsenio survived this hard period, and later it was his turn to support Eddie. In 2017, when Eddie's brother Charlie passed away, it was Hal's turn to be a supportive friend, and he was there for the actor to offer his condolences and shared a message on social media, grieving with Eddie as Charlie was his own brother. It seems like Eddie and Arsenio had a lot of moments hidden from the public eye, and it gave the impression for the audience that something else was going between them. The rumors about them being more friends were also spreading due to the fact that Arsenio managed to somehow keep low profile about his personal life, and although in the past, it was known that Hall had been dating such celebrities as Paula Abdul, nothing else was ever mentioned about his love life. While it's his personal choice to keep such things private, such level of secrecy only added to speculations about Arsenio Hall's sexuality, considering the fact that he had never had any gay guests on his show. Replying to all critics, Arsenio went quite emotional and said that coming out was not really safe for many of his guests. And there were actually people of different sexuality on his show. The one thing that I would not do is discriminate against a guest because of their sexual preference. To be Honest with you, there are a lot of homosexual guests on the show, but it ain't none of your damn business that they're homosexual. Such an emotional revelation sparked more rumors about Hall's own preferences. And again, people began to discuss whether there was anything going on between him and Eddie Murphy. Many fans are convinced that Eddie was one of the closeted guests on Arsenio Hall's show, and there were many giveaways that suggested the true nature of their relationship. As one person commented, "I always thought Eddie was into men. Must have been his small frame and that tight red leather suit." And another user mentioned, "Has anyone noticed every time Eddie has had this allegation, he has a child?" Well, it's true, and Eddie actually fathered another child when these allegations come out. It explains why the actor is a proud father of 10 kids from different partners. And unlike secretive Arsenio Hall, Eddie's love life has been an open book, and the actor has been dating some high-profile women like Whitney Houston, Melanie Brown, and other gorgeous women. For 13 years, he had been married to Nicole Murphy, and the couple shares 5 kids. However, this union fell apart because of infidelity rumors, but it didn't prevent the actor from adding some high-profile names to his dating history. His current love interest is Australian model and actress Paige Butcher, which the actor's still dating since 2012. Well, it's not a secret that many powerful and influential celebrities use such romances as a facade. Just look at Diddy and his dating life. Apparently, it worked for Eddie as well. Plus, Eddie had made a lot of inappropriate jokes in the 80s when he was 20 years old and was even accused of homophobia. However, over time, the comedian matured a lot and even confessed that he feels ashamed to rewatch his own statements in stand-up show because they make him cringe. Some jokes he made about the EL-but-2 community when he was in his early 20s were way out of line, and as Eddie recalls now, some of it I cringe when I watch. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I said that. The comedian stated in his interview that he was young and ignorant at that time, but he had learned a lot and how he understands how awful those jokes must have been for the LGBT community. He asked people to stop thinking of him as 20-year-old young and stupid boy because he had matured a lot. Plus, Eddie issued an official apology and said, "I deeply regret any pain all this has caused." Well, this was a great step forward, and although Eddie never shared anything else, the fact of him admitting his mistakes is already admirable. Apparently, even the greatest of us can make mistakes, but grow and admit they were wrong. Well, maybe Eddie's friendship with Arsenio Hall helped the actor to realize and even learn some things because this change is obvious, and many people wonder what role Hall could play in informing Eddie about this and teach him how to be tolerant. Despite never admitting how exactly Eddie came to respect and support LGBTQ community, there's talk that his friend Arsenio could be a part of the actor's educational journey, if you know what I mean. And although Eddie has never been openly involved in any romantic relationship with men, it seems to many people that there's something shady about his good old friend Arsenio, who keeps low profile about his own dating life, but at the same time also protects everyone who chooses to be closeted. Probably these two just don't want to admit something, but it's anyway their one business. Many people see this as a sign of Eddie being closeted himself, and there seems to be too many giveaways, starting with his obvious chemistry with Arsenio Hall, their longtime friendship, and the fact that while Eddie has a long list of love affairs to allegedly conceal the truth, Hall simply prefers to never talk about his love life and keep everything private. As one user wrote, "Eddie is clearly sexually fluid. It's sad that people have to hide who they are. Him and Arsenio are clearly two old queens, and I use that as a term of endearment." And another fan added, "I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie swung both ways. This is Hollywood after all." Well, Hollywood remains full of secrets, and apparently it would take a lifetime to learn them all, especially when it comes to closeted celebs. And despite it being 2023 and people can openly love other, Arsenio Hall still keeps the secrets and wants everyone to come out whenever they are ready. And what do you reckon? Was there anything besides the friendship between Eddie and Hall? Or is this nothing but allegations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to know what you're thinking. And in the meantime, check my other video about the secrets that Hollywood hides. You'll be surprised to know how shady show business is. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, and I promise to be back very soon with a new portion of gossip about your favorite celebrities,